let's begin with an injury update. So when we spoke the other day, Ironside and McGrath were being checked and were on their way, or had seen a specialist, I beg your pardon. Where are they at today then?
Well, firstly, I'll start with Richard Wood. He won't make the game. He's still sore. So that's Woody. Jay and Joe will give as much time as they need. Really, we'll see where they are today. They didn't train yesterday, but we'll see where they are. See if we can get them on the pitches at some point today, and then we'll make a call on it. But they're better from the injections. It's just a matter of time of letting the injections do the work and try and build them up. So we'll see. But we'll see. It's touch and go really, but we'll give them as much time as possible.
Yeah. Are these issues sort of ongoing issues that will just need to be managed, or can they be rectified at some point? Look, I appreciate that there aren't many games left, so just manage between now and the end of the season.
It's difficult because Joe had a double hernia operation and came back within 5 or 6 days, but there's been a little bit of a flare up on that. Like I said to you before, Dave got him back pretty quickly, and Joe came on against Cheltenham in the game and stuff like that. So it's just managing the neural pain that he's getting, the nervy pain, should I say, and trying to get to the bottom of that really, and hopefully this injection's helped that. Jay's similar. He's just getting a little bit of pain around his abductor. And we'll just give them as much time as possible really, the both of them. At this stage of the season, yes, I know we could sort of try and patch people up, but we've also got to be mindful that we don't want any long-term sort of issues. So it's a bit of a catch-21 situation, or catch-22, whatever way you want to look at it, and we'll see where they are.
Yeah, and a problem perhaps, and a head scratcher for you with three games in 6 days. So the fixture list and injuries are not helping right now.
Yeah, look, I've mentioned this before. Any player loves games more than training. So, we had a good day yesterday. We came in yesterday. We spoke to the group in different segments of the day in terms of looking back on little bits of the games that we've just had, because it's very hard to try and fit everything in. So you're trying to prepare for the next game, but also look at the last game and see if we can improve and stuff. And it's difficult when the games are so quick, but from a playing point of view, the boys love games. They love playing football. So another one for us tomorrow.
Is everybody else okay post the match the other night?
Yeah, no issues from the game. Which was pleasing, because it was a tough game against a form team in the division. They haven't been beaten for a bit, so we had to stand up to that. And like I said, after the game, I felt the energy in the team was good, and the boys gave us everything they had and kept going. It was a little bit more like a transitional game in the second half, and it was interesting. We had a good chat yesterday with the forwards, just showing them some moments in the last 2 games, really just showing them moments where, can we pick a better option when we get to the top end of the pitch, and I was also reminding the group really, and the squad, and of where we are and where we sit at this stage of the season. We've had the most shots in the league, we have the most final third entries. People don't believe in expected goals, but we're the best in the division. So we are creating chances, and I just said to the lads, I said, look, keep doing that, but just be mindful when you get in them areas, can we guarantee the goal more? Guarantee it, instead of you being the one and trying to get that chance when it's probably not yours. Guarantee it a bit more. And the boys know. They didn't need me to tell them about those sort of things and chances we have, but we just want to brush up on it. And I think if we brush up on that, we'll score a few goals.
There's lies, damn lies and statistics, but they can also be used to paint some real positive pictures to say, look, this has been happening, and it just needs to improve that little bit more. It
does. I mean, we'd be much more worried if we weren't creating chances, weren't shooting. We do. We have the most shots. We have the most final third entries. We are the most attacking team in the division when it comes to those metrics. But now we just need to brush up on it. We just need to brush up on the chances. Like, every time we get into them areas, can we make something? Can we test the keeper? We probably haven't done that enough over the last couple of games, but we're certainly in the areas. be able. So it's just reminding the players that what you're doing is great. You're getting there brilliantly. Now just tidy up on the last little bit.
And the best away record in the division, which is a true statistic if ever there was one. So no reason to lack confidence going to anywhere on the road, and Tranmere on Friday.
No, listen, the confidence is good in the camp. We're fine. We feel like we're in a good place. We've been strong. Yes, sometimes we haven't picked the 3 points up, and we've had to take the point. But again, statistically over the last 12 games, I think we've picked up 20 odd points, which is not a bad return. But what's happened before and what's happened previously is can help us and give us a wee bit of confidence getting into the last 3 or 4 games. But it's what happens next, what's ahead of us. The Tranmere game. What do we need to do, and how do we need to set the team up, and what individuals do we need to play against this team, and all those sort of things come into my thinking. So the last couple of days have been really good. We've got a clear plan in terms of what we want to do now, and we'll look to go there and try and win the game.
And how do you assess Tranmere? Andy Crosby's Tranmere?
Good. No, Cros are well. Played with Andy at Scunthorpe, and kept in touch with him, Joe Murphy and people like that down there at Tranmere, and he's done brilliant. Done really, really well since he's gone in. Obviously never nice to see a good man lose his job in Nigel Adkins, because I've got huge respect for Nigel. But Cros has done well, over the last, again, since he's been in there 6 or 7 games, they've picked up some really good results. Looks like it's a team that's fighting for him and fighting for Tranmere. So again, it's going to be another tough game, but really the focus for us lies on what we do and how we approach the game.
How much at this time of the season, when teams are at the sharp end of things, whether that's obviously trying to win the league and get promoted, or indeed stay up, I suppose, get their mental preparation right? Because it seems from the outside looking in that it's mad. Results each Saturday or each match day rather, are even more unpredictable, perhaps, given the pressure that teams are under.
Yeah, I mentioned this before, maybe to Ricky really, and we were speaking about the Cheltenham game, and Cheltenham we're talking about maybe haven't got anything to play for, but they actually do. The players are playing for contracts, they're playing to impress the manager, they're impressing, professional footballers, any game you play in, they're playing for something, personal pride, their family, whatever it may be. Just so happens the next 4 games, Tranmere probably need another win to secure their, to stay in the division. They're probably thinking that in their head, and then after that you've got Colchester trying for the playoffs, Bradford, Notts County. All these teams have definitely got aspirations in terms of what they want to do. So exciting games, but the next one obviously is Tranmere.
The other night, Bailey was talking about the fact that the pressure that you're under is a privilege. And sort of embracing that, you could be at the other, in theory, at the other end of the table. It's to try and win something. Yeah. That's kind of what footballers dream about doing, isn't it? Absolutely,
yeah. And we just got to stick to what we know we're good at. It's at this stage of the season. It's just important that we stay focused and stay, on task of what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do. So. I love this stage of the season. I really do. I think it's a tremendous time when you're involved in a promotion race, and I feel like we've got a really good group with good changing room, some real good experience in there that can settle people and we'll push them along a little bit if they need a nudge, and hopefully gets us to the point where we need to be. But like I say, we're looking forward to the game tomorrow, and hopefully we can put a win on the board.